Raje Sambhaji Chhatrapati. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause. An Indian politician, agriculturist, social worker, and a former member of the Parliament of India. The floor is yours.
Well, Honorable former President of Poland, former Prime Minister of New Zealand, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I feel I'm an odd man out. The reason is, a lot of Polish people here would be wondering, what's my connection with Poland? And what's the ex-member of Parliament from India to do on this dais? But there is something in common. The medal which you see is the Benemerit Award given by Poland to me, which in my address I will speak about. My written format, speech, I shouldn't go wrong, may not be interested to you, but when I was shocked when doctor said you must come as a speaker because you have an emotional connect between India and Poland. The present generation of Poland should know the facts, what happened 75 years back. And that's the reason I'm here not as a member of parliament or an ex-member of parliament. I'm here, which you would appreciate maybe after my speech. I am the descendant of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Maharaj is supposed to be called as a king. I'm not a king, but that's my forefather, Maharaj, who was almost the emperor of India, who in the 17th century founded a state rooted in good governance, decentralized administration, religious tolerance, and strategic autonomy. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was not merely a warrior king, he was a nation builder who believed that power must serve people, not dominate them. His ideas on administration, maritime security, and inclusive governance continue the shape of India thought even today. Even in India, if you ask a common man who Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was, they will be the highest respects, highest reverence. Even President Prime Minister Narendra Modi, whenever he talks about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he said we have to inherit his qualities, we have to inherit the tradition, heritage, and India should follow that. I'm also the descendant of Raje Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj, who was the 9th descendant of Shivaji Maharaj. Long before social equity and inclusive growth became global conversations, Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj implemented affirmative. This was from 1874 to 1922. Expanded access to education. This is in India, which was empowered women and ensured a dignity for the marginalized. His belief was simple but very powerful. A society progresses only when its weakest are uplifted. The philosophy of leadership, where authority is inseparable from responsibility, accountability, and ethical leadership, was carried forward into the modern era by my family. During the Second World War, when hundreds of Polish women, men, and children displaced from Soviet labor camps had nowhere to go, the house of Kolhapur, the house of the Chhatrapatis, opened its doors to them. In the year 1943 to 1948, 5,000 of people were given the shelter by our family. At Vadavada in Kolhapur, these families were not treated as refugees, but as guests. They were given shelter, education, healthcare, and dignity, and an early example of people-to-people diplomacy and human security. This act was not motivated by politics or publicity. It was guided by values inherited from my forefathers, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj, values that place humanity above everything else. The bond of trust between India and Poland continues to resonate even today. I begin with the history because today's discussion on geopolitics, economic resilience, global security, and international cooperation cannot be separated from the idea of trust. Today, I speak in the capacity of President of Raigad Development Authority. Raigad is the biggest fort in the world after Gibraltar, which is at the tip of the Spain. Under this initiative, Raigad has been successfully inscribed as a part of UNESCO World Heritage listing of the Maratha military landscapes. More importantly, Raigad has become a replicable model of sustainable heritage conservation, where cultural preservation, environmental sustainability, community participation, and economic opportunity advance together. This model is now being implemented in the 12 historic forts, mainly located in the rural and remote regions. Heritage, when approached responsibly, becomes a catalyst for inclusive development. This is where we need some help from Polish. That's the reason I'm projecting purposefully. Culture and tourism linked to these sites drives job creation, supports skilling and capacity building, and strengthens the local service economy, hospitality and transport, crafts, digital services. This is where global capital technologies transfers and public-private partnership can play a transformation role, not extractive but regenerative, aligned with the ESG principles and a long-term value creation. In the global economy, capital no longer flows only towards incentives. It flows towards predictability, rule of law, and ethical governance. India offers scale, demographic strength, and growth. Europe offers institutional depth, regulatory frameworks, and financial stability. Together, they reduce risk and unlock sustainable investment. Finally, global health resilience has shown us that preparedness cannot be national, it must be collective. India's pharmaceutical capacity and Europe's research excellence together can strengthen global active health security. During the difficult time of COVID-19, India has proven its capability to manufacture at scale and compassion to deliver across the globe. Let me conclude where I began with responsibility. 75 years ago, this is very important, this is here why I am. 75 years ago, the house of the Chhatrapati, the house of Kolhapur, welcomed Polish families in a moment of despair. Today, we extend that welcome again, not as charity, but as a partnership built on trust. To all of you present here, I would like to tell the Honorable President, in India, you will always find a second home. And in me, you will find a first friend, and I mean it. Let us transform history into trust, trust into institutions, and institutions into future that is sustainable, inclusive, and resilient. Today, I'm honored to be sharing the dais with the Honorable ex-President of India, the former Prime Minister of New Zealand. If given a choice to me, after India, favorite country you would like to be associated, that is Poland. And if you ask me which is the most beautiful country you would like to settle down, that is New Zealand. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dziękuję.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much for this friendship. I mean, in this mad world, as you said, friendships are growing, very much growing in value, I believe. Thank you very much. Maharaja Sambhaji Chhatrapati, thank you very much.